Bullet holes serving as a painful reminder of what went on, not only in garage doors, but also in personal vehicles. It's the 4th of July. People are out on boats at the reservoir, but officials say there's ways to have fun while still staying safe. Be something else going on. You got down RVs here, flattened. I mean, this thing was sitting up at one point. When those winds came in, it pushed it to the side. We got to Idaho Street just a couple of minutes ago. I rushed to get information. I talked to neighbors, one of which you'll hear from pretty soon. I want you to get a live look at what we're seeing. Large police presence out here. If you are one of those lucky people like me that has to work this morning, you definitely want to be going no more than about 25 miles per hour. All we know right now is that a man was shot and is dead here tonight. I'll step out the way and let you guys see what I'm looking at. Well, what started off as a day of learning shortly became a day of celebration. The news broke that we have a new pope, and me and my photographer Jacob were running through the halls of a local Catholic school. This was a first for us, and this was also a first-time experience for some of my 6th grade friends.
How does that work? Somebody tell me how it works.
Class is in session.
And you know how it works for the voting.
At St. Anthony's Catholic School.
They'll take your top 2, and they'll do a runoff between them.
Today, a first experience these 6th graders will never forget.
They know this is my first time to see this process, and they are, I think, pretty excited.
Even for the teachers, this was a new learning experience.
It's interesting because we get to be just as excited and as invested as the kids.
And when history happens,
Oh,
a little running through the halls is welcomed. The symbol of a new pope.
He will get his ring, he'll come out onto the balcony, and he will make his first official announcement, papal blessing to the world. So that's when we will find out who our next pope is.
How long?
We don't know.
For these 6th grade educators, 12 is the lucky number, and learning is a gift that becomes recyclable.
she was 12 when Pope John Paul II was the new pope. Then when Pope Benedict XVI became pope, I was 12, and now our students are 12 for the next new pope. So it's kind of a full circle. So it's neat for us to see their excitement because they're really invested in this.
And with today's new excitement, tomorrow will be another opportunity to learn. The 6th grade class will now be taught the next steps of the Pope's journey. That's all for me, Bethal, Miles 16, WAPT News. Bullets went flying in the South Jackson neighborhood. Reverend James Lord said he came home to a crime scene.
It makes me sometimes feel like I want to move.
Jackson police say a dark-colored Jeep and another vehicle exchanged rounds through multiple blocks of the Brook Hollow neighborhood. They eventually got out of the cars and fired shots on foot. Nearly 100 shell cases were recovered.
I called the insurance and they said they won't be able to really fix those vehicles.
Since then, JPD has arrested 18-year-old Lyndon Ford and charged him with shooting into an occupied dwelling. This is an accused crime that Lard is left to pay for. At least 4 more men are persons of interest, and JPD says they'll be charged as adults.
We're gonna bring some other individuals to justice very shortly.
Chief Wade said acts of violence like this in broad daylight are a testimony of what officers face daily.
If an officer had pulled up out there and these individuals were shooting like that, we could have lost an officer. We could have lost a citizen.
And it's still unclear why these young men opened fire. Police say it may have been drug or gang related, and they found 2 guns and drugs during the arrest. Reverend Lars says this won't push him from the home he's built for 38 plus years.
I'm going to stay here and I'm going to continue to pray and I'm going to be a light to this community.
Help me and my kids because this is not a condition where you should be able to raise your kids.
Shanika Brayton lives in Section 8 housing where part of her rent is federally supported, but she says the conditions of her home are nearly unlivable.
It's been reported more than once.
Brayton says she's come up empty-handed after multiple attempts to get in touch with her property manager. The Jackson mother says she feels neglected by her own landlord.
This place is condemned. I have these, see like this goes fall in a minute. That's how the bathroom was.
She says her apartment is dangerous and she's being forced to live with reminders of that neglect every day.
This place flooded several times, more than once. and they said that they would come and do it. You see, they started that last year. They haven't even came back to put the baseboard on or replace the tile that's up missing.
And she's not alone.
Tenants at a Jackson apartment complex.
People who live at a Jackson apartment complex woke up without water.
Over the past year, 16 WAPT has uncovered widespread issues inside apartment complexes across Jackson.
The tenants here are worried that the water could be cut out.
People still living at the Blossom Apartments were told they have just days to move out.
Everything from water shutoffs and overflowing trash to absentee landlords and unsafe living conditions. We wanted to know how bad these issues really are, so we requested housing complaints from cities across the metro over the past 5 years, including those from Brandon, Pearl, and Byram. Jackson and Ridgeland were the only ones to provide us that data. The city of Ridgeland says it has 4,500 apartments and 1,000 rental homes. Mayor Jean McGee said the top complaints from the tenants in the city are related to HVAC, plumbing, and electrical issues. Now, the city's Code Enforcement Division enforces these code and ordinances. Their office is located at City Hall. The city of Jackson says there's over 27,000 rentals, including apartment complexes and single-family homes. Now, officials say over 200 of those apartment complexes or landlords received complaints in this last year. Most of the problems stem from maintenance failures and unpaid water bills to garbage collection. Victoria Love is the rental registration manager under the city's Department of Planning and Development. She spoke exclusively to 16 WAPT about rental problems in the city.
So we are a part of code enforcement. The code services, you have building permits, rental registration, and community improvement. We handle properties with tenants inside of them. President Street, which is here.
Love's office was created in 2022 to help cut down on blighted rental properties citywide. She says staffing shortages led to thousands of renters left with no inspections and no accountability.
We're severely understaffed. And, just staffing changes, things of that sort.
Love also says the department has added 3 inspectors to help complete rental inspections and is now shifting focus to those landlords with the most complaints.
In complete transparency, what it'll look like moving forward is more of looking at the bad actors.
As families wait for help and cities scramble to catch up, one thing is clear. Jackson's renters aren't just fighting for repairs, they're fighting to be heard.
But at this point, I just want someone to please help me and my kids.